Hey everyone! Welcome to the final video here for Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines. Holy crap! I forgot that I meant to record one more video after the final credits where I read your guys' final comments on the last video. I am so sorry it took so long to get to this. I don't have a save where I wasn't about to go after LaCroix, unfortunately. They're all from, from the end of the game. And so instead of me running around and just talking over one of the final videos I had done, I figured we'd pick up with Lotaeri, having just come back from visiting Miss Velvet Velour. And he's checking his mail and he sees a mail from you guys, several actually, talking about the last episode. And I figured we'd pretend that we are Lotaeri and responding back to you guys. So hello everyone. So this video, just in case you're curious as to what on earth it has, there's only going to be me talking in it. And that will be about it. I'm just going to stay here. I was going to stay here on the chair in front of the computer. And I'm just going to read your final comments. This way, I actually do what I said I was going to do. I can't sit on the chair. Let's just go down here and look at the fish tank. Now pretend Lotaeri is writing down his thoughts on a piece of paper before he goes upstairs and types them out to you guys. Yep, that's what we're going to do. I'm also, as you can see, I'm playing in the background the Downtown theme. It's my favorite track from Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines. I don't think you guys will mind having that on repeat. It's a lot better than I think the creepy tune that plays in our apartment. So, let's go ahead and read your comments, everyone. So, Pan G says, "Thank you for playing. I got a lot of excitement from watching and listening to your great commentary. Looking forward to seeing you finish Underworld with Decker and play some other games." Ah, thank you, Pan G. It's been a few months since this comment, and we are almost done with Underworld. We've got maybe 5 or at most 6 more videos over there. 6 more hours until we're done with the Deep Caverns. But thank you. I really appreciate that. Tillman Enke says, "Thank you for playing this with us. It has been a very pleasant and thoughtful ride." Ah, thank you, Tillman. Thank you for playing along with me. I've really enjoyed having you guys watch me play and leaving comments like for me to talk about as I'm running around here, killing everything because we're the good guys. JZ says, "Comment 1 at 2803. This must be where the Sabbat attacked. Is LaCroix so full of himself that he'll order someone to use teleportation magic to get construction equipment in and out of a room? There is no way that Bobcat with the scoop on front could get through those doorways." Oh yeah, right! So, when we were up there crawling around in the final levels of the game, there was an area that looked like it was under construction. And I thought that might have been where the Sabbat attacked. Like, an area got detonated, right, in the tower. And we saw some of the rubble from that explosion. I thought a few of them had climbed up or taken an elevator up and made it up there and tried to set some bombs. And that's what caused that rubble that we saw all around the taxi when we had come back after rescuing Johansson, if I recall correctly. So I thought that destroyed / under construction was because that's where the Sabbat had attacked. And so JZ points out that, well, that'd be kind of weird. How'd they get the Bobcat up there? They did have that. I think they did have a lift. No, I'm thinking of that was the Sabbat building, Tim, that had the lift. Maybe, well, I don't know. We were able to somehow move the coffin out to the bottom of the Giovanni mansion. So maybe someone was able to carry it up those flight of stairs and force open the doors and stick it in there. That's the only thing I can think of, JZ. Comment 2, thanks, Tim. Oh, thank you, JZ. I appreciate it. I like to think that because Lotaeri the Vampire kept almost all of his humanity and kept the masquerade intact, he'll now go dancing to blood-pumping music with VV for more than 20 minutes, and then they'll have almost human, not quite undead hours of many nights together alone. Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case too for him. I tried my best to play him as a good guy as much as I could, and I really liked having to give up certain things in the game to do that thematically. I thought it went really well for him. I like to imagine that he is now really enjoying a more humane way to live his life as a vampire than he otherwise might have had he given in to the beast, broken the masquerade, and possibly helped a few vampires that we didn't assist in the end. Methadron! Hey, Methadron! It's been a long time. I apologize for the delay. We've got almost 2 pages for your comment, sir. Let's go ahead and get started with it. So Methadron says, "Hey Tim." Hey Methadron. So you have finished the game now, and what a playthrough. I really enjoyed watching you trying so much new stuff and having fun with it. Yeah, thank you. It was a blast. I had never played a normal vampire before. I've always played, as I mentioned, a Malkavian or a Nosferatu. Nosferatu once. Every other time through the game was with a Malkavian. I absolutely love the Malkavian. I love his skill set. I liked how crazy he was. Liked everything about him. But now that I've played Lotaeri with a normal, what are we again? What are we again? No, seriously, Tim. What race are we? What race are we? I can't remember. Why can't I remember? We're a Toreador. Holy crap, I want to say Venture this whole time. Look at this. 2 months passed and I forget what clan. Lotaeri's had so much fun with Velvet, he's forgotten he's even a vampire. The house rules were also really fun to see in action. Yeah, I thought they were too. They added a nice amount of difficulty to the game with me having to make a few really difficult choices. And in the end, we barely got through the final battle with what we brought with us, but we won. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it added to the flavor of us going through the game. So thank you for playing one of my favorite games. Thank you, Methadron, for watching me play through it. Maybe you will play Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. It is a very different game, but I think it's also a great game. So I've played a little bit of Redemption. I did not get to the plot twist. When I had left off, I believe I had just, spoilers for everyone, skip ahead like a minute or two. Skip ahead 2 minutes to avoid this, just to be safe. Are you ready? I had gotten to the part where this one gentleman wanted us to kill him. I think he was a Catholic vampire. He couldn't abide the fact he was a vampire, but being a Catholic, he was not allowed to kill himself, so he wanted someone else to do it, and he had asked us to do it, and I myself was like, I'll do it, even though the character we were playing was also Catholic, if I recall correctly. I forget his name now, but I got to that point. I think it was right after or around the Chantry part? The Tremere Chantry? Actually, it might have been a little past that, because I remember having this guy with a beard and mustache with a German accent, I think. He looked like he was a gangrel. And that was as far as I got. So if there's however much more is after that, I never saw it, and I never got to the plot twist. But yes, I liked it. It felt like a action RPG. So, like Diablo, but the camera was behind your character's shoulders, and you had multiple characters to manage all at once, if I recall correctly. Methadron Dead says, so I have talked about much of the world of darkness. I bet I got some of those things very wrong, but hey, that's just how it is sometimes. Oh, I hope you didn't, Methadron. I was taking you as the expert in all things world of darkness since you were consulting the books. But there are still a few things that I want to talk about, and a few things happened in this video. First, we see a lot of LaCroix security systems in action. First, a lot of human guards, probably regular humans, just hired to take care of mortals, to take care if mortals want to mess with LaCroix. Yeah, I agree, yep. All the grunts could handle any of the base assaults on the Venture, or deal with people who were trying to poke about without any issues, and without knowing what was actually going on. And weaker vampires can be killed by them too, right, yep. Including us when we started out, right? Then we have this armored tactical forces. This shows us how much money and influence he has already amassed. Yeah, we know he's pretty powerful, right? He's the Prince of LA, so he's definitely amassed some fortune. He has this rich building, the Venture Tower. He's involved in various financial endeavors as well, and he gives us money occasionally when we ask for it. Yeah, I can see him being quite rich, and definitely you want to have protection. You don't want, especially in a vampire society, when everyone's trying to kill each other, or backstab each other, or do whatever it is they do to each other. A lot of underhanded stuff. I mean, these guys are well trained and very well armed. This is basically his private army. Maybe some are even ghouls, but this is unlikely as Ventrue see the use of disciplines and ghouls as something to avoid. Why have the extra work to maintain a ghoul army when well-trained mortals are an option? Yep, I can agree with that. Yep. I guess he and other Ventrue can also dominate some of them to make them forget about what happened after it's all over, in case it comes right down to it. After that, we saw his dominated guard, though whom he spoke to you. This shows us that you made him mad. He can do this with basically any guard he has, but he only does this when you made him mad because you made it this far. He says he saw this coming, but that doesn't mean he likes the fact that you came this far. Why would he talk to you if he actually planned this? No, he is really, really mad. And so far you cost him quite a bit of money, and you keep coming. Yeah, we definitely did. He thought I'm pretty sure he was hoping that our original assault on the Sabbat would get us killed in the process. And if we didn't do it, he would possibly have declared a blood feud on us then. Then when that didn't kill us, he attempted to eliminate us. I'm pretty sure it was him. When we went up to the park, Griffith Park. And when that didn't work, he was left out of options but to declare a blood feud on us and risk having us go after him, which is exactly what we had, which is what we did. We could have probably fled LA, but we would have been tracked down for some time. And in the end, things worked out for us and for LA by us killing him. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't kill him by us doing what we did and killing Ming Zhao and eliminating the prince and his sheriff, obviously, and putting it looks like the power into Mr. Strauss's hands. I think he'll be a better prince until they vote, well, for as long as he wants, or until they've come. I guess they'll vote for another prince at some point, if it comes down to that. Is that even? I can't remember now, Beth John. You've told me in the past how they decide who will be the prince or not. I think it is a vote, or it's appointed by someone even higher up who is the prince in the area. But maybe, actually, I think LaCroix took command of LA, if I recall correctly, for the Camarilla, at least. As for why he's angry, I got the impression, so I thought he was actually probably surprised at what we did. And when the assault actually he probably anticipated it could be a problem, but maybe he thought we would run instead, with everyone hunting for me. But in the end, we got a few allies, and then we eliminated him. Perfect. Take that, LaCroix. So I think that was a last-ditch effort to try to kill us and distract us by us not noticing the dynamite strapped to that guy's chest. But we were able to get away from him. Anyway, this is why he starts throwing his Ventrue guards at you. These are much more important, as they are either his own sire childs or Ventrue that work for him, so they owe him something. Either way, these are much more costly and more or less the last line of defense that he would throw at you would hope to kill you after you got tired. He has a time and numbers advantage, but you went on and nothing stopped you. Yep, exactly. I think we were helped a great deal by a certain someone that you're probably going to mention in the next few paragraphs, Method John. This is why you finally had to fight the sheriff. And what a fight that is. That guy is really a monster. He shows us why he is a personal guard and executioner for LaCroix. I already talked about his clan, Nagloper. At least this is the clan the player assumes he belongs to. It fits every description given to us by the other NPCs and fits his disciplines. His Chirotiberian behemoth form is a vicissitude power, and his minions seem to be similar in shape. Oh, thank you for explaining this, Method John. I always assumed this was some sort of like Gangrel war form, and he had a unique version of it. I actually had thought that all the Gangrel had some sort of unique form for them, but this could also explain it too. Maybe those are his ghouls, or he sired a few vampires, but this is all speculation. The sheriff can even throw corpses at you as an attack, and one of those bodies can be Chunk. I didn't see this happen. Oh, poor Chunk. We didn't kill him, right? I don't remember us killing him. But even this very powerful kindred cannot stop Lotaeri on his way to LaCroix, and he, of course, tries to dominate you with his powers. But this is an interesting moment in this game. He uses his discipline on you, but you shouldn't have been able to resist this. Dominate doesn't give the target a chance to resist. Either it takes effect or it doesn't, and you are of a lower generation than him, which is why it should have worked. if you ever resist his earlier quests, he just dominates you to do them. Yep, I remember that. With my Malkavians, I often would give trouble to LaCroix. This is the first time I decided to actually actively assist him, rather than just be flippant with him. Like, this was the first time I've seen this hideout of ours. I've always been in the one in Santa Monica before. I was pretty surprised that this was even an option that you gain. I really like this. This is the first time I saw this. But yes, my Malkavian would laugh and be like, my laughter echoes from your exit, and try to walk off, and LaCroix would say, go see Grout. And then an image of him trying to, or rather the effect of him trying to dominate would take effect, and the only thing we can do then is say, I will see Grout. Like, he has totally dominated us then. I bet Maximilian Strauss has something to say about that. The Tremere blood magic can do many weird and interesting things. He and his guys also just showed up. Either they were on Obfuscate or they teleported in. Either way, he did something about this, because Strauss knew that LaCroix would try this. I don't remember if he said something about this to you, but this is the only real explanation there is. Well, we could be a lower generation vampire and just not have realized it this whole time, right? Our sire might have been more powerful than we knew. Or maybe something happened and between our sire and when we were knocked out to make us a lower age vampire, because we have the taxi driver who is, I think, in some way influencing what is happening to us. Also, I think if I remember Methodron, the same thing happens with LaCroix if you decide to end it a different way. If you decided to not gain Strauss as an ally, if we had sided with the Anarchs or decided to do things for ourselves, I'm pretty sure LaCroix still tries to dominate you. Only I think the ending is you... Actually, I think is it the same ending? I think it is. Because we cut up LaCroix and incapacitate him, and then we walk away, if I recall correctly. Or you can open the box, which the very, very, very first time I beat the game was the option I chose. So I'm like, everyone's told me I shouldn't open it. I'm totally opening this box. And my first Malkavian said, candy or money, whatever's in this is going in my pockets. Well, we did get it in our pockets in the end. If you choose that answer, that's totally what happens to you. You don't want it when you open that sarcophagus, but it's too late at that point. Let's see. The first seems weird, but we should remember that the fortune teller girl on the beach told you. Oop, I'm a professional. At all times. Why don't I lower that? Okay, there we go. We should remember what the fortune teller girl said. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. So, everyone. Oh wait, nope. I'm still in the wrong spot. Here we go. So now we are done with the game and the lore in your playthrough. There is one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and I waited this long, as I wanted to see if you got the ending scene that this happens in. This is a big spoiler, which is why I waited. I want everyone who reads this comment to know that this is coming up. Yep, me as well. If you intend to play through this game, don't. Thank you for watching what you did of this last video. Thank you for watching everything you did when I played through the game, assuming you did so. But don't listen to any more of this unless you decide that you're going to choose the same exact options and never play through the ending of the game again and not see what any of the other choices do. Alright? Because I know what Methodron's going to talk about. So here we go. Everyone gone that doesn't want to know? So your cab driver is a kindred. This much we know. There was an ending where he and Jack have one last scene. Yep. Jack is having a drink at a table with the mummy that was in the sarcophagus. He is doing this because I'm pretty sure Jack was the one who opened the sarcophagus and made it look like something had escaped it. And he replaces what's inside the sarcophagus at some point with explosives. An unbelievable amount of TNT and C4 or other explosives. And right as you open that sarcophagus is when it detonates. That's the ending you get if you chose the Anarchs or if you choose to go your own way and just walk out of that room after you incapacitate LaCroix. LaCroix drags himself over and opens the sarcophagus with the key that you leave him, and that is what happens to him in the end. You get to see, I think, his whole venture tower detonate. Let's see if you say this message on. If you open the box with LaCroix, then you find quite the explosive content. Yep. As a large bomb goes off and kills LaCroix, you and everyone in the top floors of the tower. This is because Jack got a hold of the key on the sarcophagus and took out the remains and planted the bomb. We see Jack with the body on 2 lawn chairs watching the explosion. Behind him, in the last few frames, stands a cab driver. Yep, if I recall correctly, if you open it, he remarks something like, shame about the kid, but what are you gonna do? He did. Lots of people warned us not to open it, and you can open it anyway, which is something, by the way, I really like the game lets you do. Anyway, the first seems weird, but we should remember that the fortune teller girl on... Oh, wait, hold on. We see Jack with the body on 2 lawn chairs watching the explosion, and behind him, in the last few frames, stands a cab driver. Right, yep, you see him there at the very... You see his, like, a little bit of him. I think his left-hand side, if I recall correctly, just as the camera is panning out. The first seems weird, but we should remember what the fortune teller girl on the beach told you. You can trust a man on the couch and the lone wolf. She never said to trust Smiling Jack. That's correct. Yep, she doesn't. She tells you to trust Mercurio and Beckett. And she told you not to open it. She knew that opening this thing will kill you. She also asked you, why is he smiling? The father. Is it the father behind him? Yup, she's talking about the cab driver. And this is really the interesting clue. The only one we know who is smiling a lot is Smiling Jack. Hell, he isn't called Smiling Jack for nothing. And the last scene we see him in, with the corpse and the cab driver behind him. If he is the smiling one, then the cab driver is the father. This tells us that the cabbie could be called the father. Now, this could be Jack's father or something like this, but this is unlikely. Jack was embraced a long time ago by a woman called Mama Lion. Oh, interesting. I did not realize that. So this could mean that this father is the father of all vampires, meaning Kane. That's correct, yep. So Kane might not only be awake, but keeping his eye on you, since you are important to the events in this city. But he doesn't want to take action. He wants to watch you find your way. Oh, yep. So this is what I got the impression as well. Even my first time through, I suspected that this vampire was a lot more powerful than he was leading on. But when I played through the game a second time with my Malkavian, is when I was able to put 2 and 2 together after I talked with the girl on the beach. And I began to realize, like, oh, now I understand everything that she's talking about, and all of it is accurate. Wow, that's pretty cool in retrospect. It makes no sense to you when she's telling you all of this, but it's exactly what's going to happen. And yes, I think that the cab driver is indeed Kane. A Malkavian character can even call him out on this and make him basically admit that he is Kane, that he made this mistake of just watching before. This would be with the 2nd or 3rd generation vampires, as he let loose on the world. Oh, interesting. You know, I never attempted that with my Malkavian. I guess you have to have a certain level of persuade to do that with them, and I never. Actually, I did take a lot of persuade with Malkavian. I think I took 8 points with it, but I don't remember the option showing up, so maybe I never pressed him on it. This is even in the game files, if you want to go that route. The driver's sound files are named Kane from a certain point on forward. The sound files containing the cab driver's dialogue, audio during Out for Blood, and onwards are all named with the prefix Kane. But the sound files used for cab driver before this quest are actually stored in a separate folder called Cabbie. This could imply they are actually separate people, even though they use the same character model. No, I think it's the same person. I think it's been the same person the entire time. Maybe he replaced the cabbie that LaCroix originally had, but I'm pretty sure it's the same person that's been driving you around all the time. Unless it was Kane and he's using some form of obfuscate to make himself look like the original cab driver that you had. All of this gives the events of this game a really different flavor, especially if you assume that the cab driver has always been Kane and kept a close eye on you. I suspect that his influence is why we were also gaining experience points so rapidly, and while we were as powerful as we are. But yes, I agree with you 100%, Methodron, and that was super cool, and I wanted to mention it earlier on, too, in the playlist, but I don't think I did. I held it off as a secret myself, because I didn't want to spoil it on anyone. But yep, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I really like the fortune teller again, and how everything she says links back to, rather, is indeed something you can notice if you play through the game, but you'll probably really notice it when you play through the game a second time. Next up for comments is Bruno. Bruno says, "Look, Mom, I'm on TV." Hey, Bruno. Yep, you are. Hey, yeah. I think this is the first of your series I watched from beginning to end. Hey. I've still to watch the ending to Pathologic. Oh, don't worry, Bruno. It's fine. Pathologic was an amazing game. But this year, oh man, I was not ready. I couldn't mentally get myself ready to play it again. Because it had been I think it was just like 9 months ago when I started playing games for Halloween that I had actually finished Pathologic, and I needed more time to pass. We might play through it this Halloween. And I might play through the second Pathologic, that Haruspex, instead of the originals. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. I'd have liked the last sections to be less combat focused, but I think Trokio were rushed by the publisher, sadly. Yes, I agree with that. The final areas of the game felt a lot more rushed than the earlier portions of the game, especially the final the final video or two that we did, going through to kill Ming Zhao and eliminating LaCroix, felt really rushed. Even the Sabat area felt more well done than those ones did. But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to say it's still a good game, a really great game, despite the ending 2 hours of it. But unfortunately, also, this is what I was talking about early on in the game, in the end, you really have to kind of make a combat character. I guess you could do the final areas without combat if your stealth is really high. But man, that's going to be a bit, no, because you have to, no matter what, you have to fight the sheriff. I don't know how you do that without any points in combat. I'm pretty sure you gotta have a combat character of some sort. Iro Condren says, "Tasty snacks on the streets equals prostitutes." Who are you? So wise in the ways of science. Man, I can't help it. They are pretty tasty. You know, they look tasty. They taste tasty too. You got the pronunciation of this. Oh. Stare down, Tim. I probably messed it up now. Catch it in your next series, or Underrail. I'll see you at Underrail. Yeah, take care, Iro. Thank you for stopping by. And the final comment was from Andy Rosebrook, who says, "Nice." Yeah, thank you, Andy. It was a really nice time that hopefully we all had playing through the game. I had a blast playing this game, especially because it was half remembering, and it had been years since I last played through the game. It was a lot of fun. I had a great amount of time with my house rules. I really liked playing through the game with a normal vampire. I would not have thought it to be so much fun. And it was a real blast. And I had also a great time reading your comments. Thank you all so much again for leaving them. Thank you for watching everything you did. And I hope to see you in, indeed, the next playthrough. So thanks, guys. And I will hopefully see you then. Take care, and thanks for watching this, assuming that you did. I'm going to go ahead and spend some more time with Velvet Velour.